Hello?
Hello.
Ms. Smith, we're starting another hearing you'll be taken care of shortly, okay?
Okay.
Good morning. This is cause number 2021-75819 in the interest of Perfecto Alvarado. All parties, please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So help me God, I swear to tell the truth.
All right. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Yesenia Ramos, mother of Perfecto Alvarado Jr.
All right. And representing state of Texas Attorney General's office.
Kavita Sharma.
Going to note that the non-custodial parent is Perfecto Alvarado. Mr. Alvarado was personally served on December 11th, 2021 at 7:47 a.m. at 112 North Charles, Pasadena, Harris County, Texas. He's not filed an answer or made an appearance. Is that correct, Ms. Sharma?
Correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Yes, Judge, I would like to call the mother, Ms. Yesenia Ramos.
All right.
Good afternoon, Ms. Ramos. How many children are we here for today?
Just one.
And how old is your child?
He's 2 years old.
And who is the child's father?
Perfecto Alvarado.
How do you know Mr. Alvarado is the father of the child?
Because I was with him at the time and he consented and he signed his birth certificate and he looks just alike.
Okay, and are you asking the court to name Mr. Alvarado as the biological father of your son?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to appoint you and Mr. Alvarado as joint managing conservators of the child?
Yes.
And who does the child live with?
With me.
And are you asking the court to appoint you as the primary conservator to maintain the child's residence in Harris and contiguous counties?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to allow Mr. Alvarado visits with the child on a standard possession order with pickup and drop off at your home?
Yes.
And do you know if Mr. Alvarado has any other children?
Yes, he has 2 other children.
And are
He
they
has
both
3.
under the age of 18?
Yes. One is
And-
8, 11, and mine.
And do you know where Mr. Alvarado is currently employed?
Yes, he works for Performance Contracting Inc.
And how do you know he works there?
I used to drop him off at work and he went back recently because they offered him a raise and it's a long-term job.
And do you know how much he makes there?
Yes, he makes $25.50 an hour.
And how do you know he makes $25.50 an hour?
These are things we would discuss openly.
And did your brother get a job because of Mr. Alvarado as well?
Yes.
And
Yes,
did your
he
brother
did.
make the same amount of wages as Mr. Alvarado?
No, he made Mr. Alvarado makes more because he's the lead man. My brother was just a carpenter. He was getting paid $22.50.
And what type of work does Mr. Alvarado do?
He does refinery work, scaffolds. He builds scaffolds inside refineries.
And do you know if he works at least 40 hours a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so is it your testimony today that Mr. Alvarado's gross monthly resources is $4,420 a month?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you testifying today that based on Mr. Alvarado's resources, that 9% is $398, which would be the max for medical support?
Yes.
And how is the child covered under health insurance currently?
He has Medicaid.
And are you asking the court to consider the net resources of Mr. Alvarado based on your testimony of $25.50 an hour to be $3,631.10?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to set child support based on 16% of those net resources?
Yes.
And are you asking the court that you will agree to maintain the health insurance for the child?
Yes.
And are you asking the court to set current medical support at $67 a month beginning September 1, 2022 and monthly thereafter?
Yes.
And are you telling the court that you agree to pay half of any uncovered health costs?
Yes, but I'm gonna go ahead and resubmit so my child could stay with Medicaid.
And are you asking the court to set current child support at $581 a month beginning September 1?
Yes,
And as far as back child support, would you agree that you and Mr. Alvarado live together off and on?
yes,
And would you agree that for the period of August 1st, 2019 till June 23rd of 2020, you and Mr. Alvarado did not live together?
correct.
And during that time, do you have any information of where Mr. Alvarado was working?
I believe he was with PCI and somewhere else. He kind of bounced around, not too sure.
So do you understand that because we do not have any wage information for Mr. Alvarado at that time, we're going to base retroactive child support for those dates at minimum wage?
Yes,
And are you asking the court to grant $1,892 in back support?
yes,
And are you asking the court to order that Mr. Alvarado pay that back at $60 a month beginning September 1?
yes,
Are you asking the court to bill court costs to Mr. Alvarado?
yes,
And are you satisfied that you have read and signed this order today?
yes,
And it's in the best interest of your child?
correct.
Thank you. Judge, I pass this witness.
Yeah, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Judge, may we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Alvarado. You're free to go. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Ms. Berard, you're handling the Beal case,
I am, Your Honor.
and the mother is by telephone.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, this is code number 2022-03482 in the interest of Avery and Amir Beal. All parties and witnesses, please raise your right hands and be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Reese, and I'm the mother.
All right, representing the Attorney General, State of Texas.
Andrea Perard.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Damon Beal. Mr. Beal was personally served on May 13th, 2022 at 3:18 p.m. at 701 North San Jacinto Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He's not made an appearance or filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Farard?
That's correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, this time the state would call Miss Reese. Ma'am, in regards to the paternity of the child, Amir, is it your testimony today that the only person that could possibly be the father of that child is Mr. Beal?
Yes, ma'am.
He's the only one that you had intimate relationship with during the probable time of conception. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the other child, Avery, has been, there's an acknowledgement of paternity that was signed by you and Mr. Beal. So that parent-child relationship has already been established. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, in regards to Mr. Beal was served in Harris County Jail, but he has since been released and served 60 days. So he is out. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In regards to conservatorship, you have no objection to being named joint managing conservators with Mr. Beal, with you designating the residents with the geographic restriction to Harris and contiguous counties. Is that your understanding and agreement?
Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Joint
what is
managing
that?
conservators where you share rights and duties with him, but you designate the residents. The children live with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Farard, on page 2, it is found that the appointment of parents as joint managing conservators is not in the best interest of the children. You see that?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I apologize. I misread that. You're never correct. I will recall.
But the next paragraph says that they are appointed joint managing conservators.
That's I saw that sentence.
So are we asking for joint managing conservatorship here?
My assumption, Your Honor, because there has been family violence in the past, and she is asking for a non-disclosure finding, that it would be sole managing, but I did not negotiate, so I can ask her some questions on that, Your Honor.
Well, okay, let's submit a new order. I'm going to recess for you to talk to her about it, and then you can submit a new order. Okay,
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, thank you very much.
thank you.
When